Hey, all this is the Northeast, and this is from Diablo 2 Resurrected. But what's this? Giant ass screen? This is on PC, not on PC, this is on console. So, two characters so far, a Warlock and Hardcore Necromancer. So I wanted to talk about some builds or what I'm thinking about doing on the Necromancer. Now I haven't gotten the filters to work on the Necro. Like I made two filters here, for example. Like I made this filter here, for example, hide mineral monopods, and then if I go in here and expand it, you can see like they are there. So since they are marked right, that should mean that they should hide them right. Since they are marked here right, because rule tap and I have those selected, so those should get hidden. Minor healing potion and minor mana potion, right? That should be the thing, right? But then when I go into on shop potions here, for example, I have it so that for example, like I selected here, then for example I selected to show potions. So for example, then I have the other ones marked. So I think that okay, like those are two rules now that are doing it, and that should like show stuff that. But maybe it's that I have to go in on each of these, on the items. No, but that doesn't have them. That does not have anything selected from ISK there. So, why doesn't it work then? Because this is obviously used runes. It's used runes. So sets. So do I have one of them marked then? Oh, I did wrong now. Yeah, because those are the only ones selected. Show items button is pressed. Right, that's why. Because I have this on toggle here. No, but there is no controller, right? There is no way to check my buttons. Well, actually, there's a way on. Anyway, right. So as you can see here, I've only gone 3 into this because that's 3 skeleton totals, and I believe if I get one more, that would give me one more skeleton, which I do not want. So basically what I'm trying to do is just stick to 3 on each of these and stuff that. Now I do think that they should, for example, like there are enough room on the 3 to add more stuff. Like for example here in the middle instead, in the middle right, I would actually add so raise skeleton, this is skeleton mage, right? Yeah, skeleton mage. So this would be raised skeletal archer, and it would be in the same tier as the raised skeleton. So there will be changes I would do to Necromancer as someone that likes like summoner and stuff that, you know. So let's go to Outcloster first. Yes.
This place has the stench of demons.
So you're sticking here, so it's quality Do gameplay toggle. Yes. So maybe it's just because the toggle is on. Maybe that works different. Because yeah. It is a bit scary because my damage is not super good. I could just go into an easier area, of course, and start resurrecting stuff, you know.
I can't use this yet.
But the net exploded, which is not particularly good. We are playing on hardcore, obviously, so that is something, you know. That's do that. Boom. There we go, 3 of those. Because there are things that I do think that they could do to improve the necromancer. Because you might say, but oh, it's really fun to have a lot of skeletons, and I agree. You know, like it is fun to have like a ton of skeletons. But the thing is rather than having like 10 plus skeletons and stuff that, you know, like it causes like issues and stuff that, like when you have so many and stuff that. But one thing they could do, for example, one thing they could do is instead, for example, like as I said, like make the maximum only be 3, for example, but then also have like skeletal archers here. Maybe have something here where the golem is, so that you can have an alternative to not have to have like a golem. Because the golem is really powerful, of course, because of its slow effect. Because the first golem is the one that slows enemies. And of course you have the blood golem, which is the healing golem, which is also very tanky. And then you have the iron golem, and then you have the fire golem. The fire golem is actually pretty interesting because it absorbs fire damage, and you know it does benefit also from the curse. Of course, the what is it, lower resist, and stuff that can be useful as well. But I also think, for example, that they could make. The main problem is, of course, that something like, for example, the main problem with the skeletal mages are, of course, their damage is not particularly good. What's the damage at? Major life, major improved missile damage. Yeah, their damage is always like pathetic, no matter how many points you have. Which is the main problem, but you might say that, oh, but this is just because they use silly little mages, you know. And stuff that, which is, you know, true. You know, they're not quote-unquote meant to be powerful. But we do have a third one now, so I could do this. I thought about just having made a ruby instead of with a 3, but no, we're gonna do that. So she's quite decent with the damage. I know you can use gold like triple poison and stuff like that, but in Act 2 there will be things that take less damage from poison and stuff that I'm pretty certain, like even if you have a lot of poison damage, there will be certain things that you just won't do a lot of damage. I also do have a club that is socketed, and keep in mind that I am not leveling up a single point in strength, or a single point in dexterity, or a single point in energy. I've gone full vitality, and yeah, because, you know, survivability is most important, because this is gonna be my level 99 hardcore character and stuff like that. And of course, I decided to go with the Necromancer just because Necromancer has so much survivability and stuff like that. And I am sticking with place 8 even when it comes to like fighting bosses and stuff like that. So this could be good. So this is is it a mage skill on it? It does not have a single mage skill, but they have 4% lifestyle rate, which is nice. Fire resist, 10% damage taking Ghost of Man. Okay, that's actually very good. And there's 2 slots. But the Hazardous is what's giving me the 10 strength. And that's actually very good, and it's just 1 slot. Yeah, don't do that. You know what? I could actually put the survivability thing into it because I do have a good survivability. Well, there's also a thing that I will be using eventually, which is this shield here, which I'm decreasing the requirements of, and so that then we also have this one, So I might put like other things into. But for example, this one 4+ to life and fire resist. So I put that in that, and now we have some fire resist on it. Then we do that. Boom, boom. Yeah. So now we have a silly little staff. We sell this. We repair this. And we hold to repair all. That's very expensive though to repair. This does not have charges, no. But it gives me fast cast rate, it gives me some life. What are my stats total here? My advanced stats. So hit stamina plus 25, 4% life so per hit attack, attack stamina 2, 55 extra gold, plus the light radius, 10% fast skill and porcelain, 20%, 12% goes to mana. Actually, that thing with thing going to mana is actually very, very useful. That's actually a very, very good staff. You know, all things considered. Of course, we did add a life to it and stuff like that, so that is something. We are also using this charm, which as you can see adds 1 to 5 lightning damage, so that is nice as well. And normally I wouldn't hire like a one that would have the freeze effect, but the freeze one is actually the best out of them. And there were at one patch when they actually did buff some of the mercenaries and stuff that, like a little bit at least, you know, and stuff like that. And why is the freeze one good? Because the freeze one can actually knock down enemies, and like the slowing effect is actually very good. Of course, though, the one from Act 3 is just superior. Dealing the freeze version of the Iron Wolf is just better because the Iron Wolf is actually like a mage and stuff like that. And I also thought that those classes would be interesting in the game. Now the thing is, of course, that if they made a rogue an actual class in the game, wouldn't it just be too close to the Amazon? But I definitely do think that they could make it different enough because it would just be about bows and stuff that. You know, and you might say, oh, but there wouldn't be enough like bow stuff. But you could have like physical bow stuff, you could have magical bow stuff, or maybe the trees would be like fire black bow stuff, ice bow stuff, and you know, maybe add something else, something that isn't an element yet with like bows and stuff that, like, you know, not lightning. Lightning will make it too similar to Amazon, I think. Not poison. Actually, poison would maybe be quite interesting and stuff that, because poison is not super common and stuff that, right? And there are people that really like poison builds. Poison also has one of those. This can be a little bit scary here. Oh, super pass, that's very, very nice. That's one of the things I really wanted to get. Oh yeah, that's curse. It's actually pretty bad. Let's heal up. Let's run away. Let's see, what is this? What is the attack rating? We need more skellies. The guy who was summoning us over there. Away the gloves. Charge. What this is? Cold resist, okay. Cold resist is fine. Cold resist might actually kill. It depends. There are of course way better black. There are way better. What they call it, charms later on and stuff that, like they're all like, I believe there do exist prismatic version of charms actually and stuff that, you know, rainbow charms, because rainbow basically means that it has like all resist on it, you know, and it can also become prismatic and like other stuff and like that. That's scary again. Yes. I did not keep. I did not put this in. Alright, then I wanted this in the club here. Am I going to be using the club? No, not yet, I don't think. I'm going to wait with using the club actually, and my problem is that she doesn't start selling. Like, I definitely think that something they should have done is have it based on your HP level when potions become available, or after you reach certain levels. Basically, instead of, oh, you have to get to Act 2, because that's something that I was always a bit annoyed about. Right, and do... No? Warlock skill can show still on those. But does that mean that there can be Warlock charges? Are there like Warlock skills that can have charges to it? Because I'm curious, right? You know, there are charges, of course, for certain skills from other classes, but for example, could there be like crossover between like the Necromancer and the thing, you know, and stuff that, you know? So sell the other rating. Wow. Wait, how could that have been worth so much? It's just 4+ attack rating. How could that sell for 1046? Right, because it's... Is it a higher tier? Was it bronze? Is it con bronze? Yes. So here's the thing, why did it give 4+ attack rating? Because it was a low level roll on it. Because bronze, it can give you way more than that and still be called bronze. And stuff that it was just like a low level roll on the item itself. As long as it doesn't hit me or strats. Old staff though. Okay. You are... Wait. Fire what? Ah, fire resistant. I was like... So of course the leaf, which is what? I keep forgetting what the leaf is. It's Tierral, I think it's leaf. Tierral, I think it is. I'm not 100% certain though. We have made some rune words though, like Chronicle, I really like this effect. But I kind of wish that it would remember your settings here. So if I take Discover for example, alright, because it doesn't count as being discovered because I have not discovered it on this difficulty level. So it's individual. That is a bit annoying because that means that progress you do on the hardcore character does not carry over the same way. That's a bit annoying though. So we are working on this, getting to the maximum. Skeleton Master, of course, obviously. Once that mastered, I don't know technically where I'm going yet because I want to try and avoid golems. Stuff that and be not reliant on the golem. We could of course go into curses and stuff that. However, the main problem with going into curses is of course that a lot of curses are kind of worthless to put more than 1 point into. Because it's just that for example, like they could have actually made like amp damage really powerful. Because the thing is, like with curses, for example, it's like, if I'm not mistaken, mana cost first level radius 2 yards and duration 8. Of course, the Caprify is what you want to reach because curse a group of events to make them slow, weak, and take amplify damage and stuff that. So you know, and of course you have lower resist as well. I thought about, you know, like a skeletal mage build at one point, you know, I thought about, you know, my Archie died. I'm a bit sad. I'm definitely gonna resurrect my Archie though. Okay. We're going to be doing individual recording, of course, depending on what character we are playing, as, So for example, I would mark this as like Necromancer, and stuff like that, and I would definitely play as other classes as well, and stuff like that, It's really fun. My characters are going to be hardcore, probably not, stuff like that. But I know the game well enough because I did main summoner. Not at first though, because at first I was really bad when I was younger at the game. I wasn't like super young when this game came out, of course, obviously, and stuff like that. Because I think it came out during 2000. I think it was, or 1999. Because it depends on the area you lived in, of course, when it came out. Stuff like that. But yeah. And it's crazy, right? That Lord of Destruction was like 1 year, or not even a full year. I think it was like 7 months or something like that. There was a certain amount of months between Diablo 2 and Lord of Destruction, but Lord of Destruction just kind of ruined the game. It was really good, of course, but I definitely regret the rune words and stuff like that. But I definitely think that there should have always been like a ladder or like an online where there could have been a setting to like not allow rune words and stuff like that. I think even today, if there were like a different mode even for offline, to be like, oh, not allowed, that, it would be really good. So that has maximum, that has downhill. These ones are really good. And not actions that are healed, that needs stamina plus. That one has fire resist. That one has no resist. That has poison length reduced. This is fire resist though. Junk. Qual level 5 is higher. Oh, level 4, okay. What's our resistance? 29 on fire, 15% cold, 6% poison. Shape 30. Very nice. 7 poison large. Are you something good? Yeah. Yes, you are something good. And the ones I'm keeping, I'm putting over here. That's actually very good. Maximum stamina and more gold. It's a nice combination. Ish nice combination. See? Alright. Shut up. Why is there a bunch of gold here? Yeah, and I have kind of done like a bit of a gold build on these characters. 62% extra gold. So that is because I have 2 ring of greeds, 25%, and a 30%. Because you might think that, oh, the gold is not useful. But yeah, it is. The gold is actually pretty useful because once you reach a certain amount, like 100%, then you're basically doubling like the gold values and stuff that, and like gold can be used for gambling, and stuff that, and also do things that you can gamble. Yes, it is a very low chance, but due to the levels in this, for example, good runes can drop and stuff that, because stuff like that. Because edge, if I remember correctly, the word for edge, rune word, is not particularly hard to make. I think it requires 25, I think it is, to make the edge rune word. I forgot exactly what it is. Make edge. I kind of wish though that there would be a built-in like database. And I'm pretty certain that's something they even talked about. Like that is maybe linked to a Diablo wiki or something like that, to be like that you could just search for a certain rune word and then it would just show up what you would need to put it in and stuff like that, Okay. It's already in. Almost empty.
I shall make weapons.
Or shall make weapons from your bones. This is neat, there's charge. Plus the light cold resist, lightning resist, fire resist, poison resist. Magic damage reduced by 1 and attack takes damage to 1. That's actually pretty good. Was it softed even? No. Now there is of course a benefit to have more than one hardcore character, because if I remember correctly, all hardcore characters will actually share a stash tab, if I remember correctly, so that runes we collect, for example, on other character will be beneficial. Stuff that he had absolute trap drops. That was a bit sad. But there was something I picked up that I did not want. What are you? But it's only an 8% chance. Alice?
All this for a hammer?
He doesn't understand, but I mean, like, necromancy is supposed to be smart. Bone archers. So, yeah. Okay. And what do you have? How much life? Skeleton's life 88. Media life is 88. Okay. I think that's fully explored. Yeah. We did actually fully explore it. We need. Now we have enough stamina potions, so I don't think we need more. Now it could be said, of course, that we could go for used ones and stuff that, right? Because we could theoretically go for we could try and go like
The slow torch
very aggressively for like summoning stuff, like, but eventually, like on nightmare difficulty, I believe is when it starts dropping. Although it can drop on Act 5 depending on your level, I believe, and stuff like that. But there are like the summoner stuff that can drop that is like plus to summoning skills, but then there could be other skills aside from it as well. Some more vitality, skill 3 at 12 points. Level 18, which means that's the summoner resist. Yeah, that's 24, 19. So this needs to be like 20, 21 now. So 21, 22. So it's like 22, 23, 24. Yeah. So 22. 22 is when I need to start putting points into it then. Very important to remember that we put in the points at the correct point at the correct time. I'm not trusting since it's like this. No secret. Secret wall. There are like secret rooms sometimes in the jail, not always. Oh right, yeah. That was obvious. Because I recognized that basically. I was like, So is it just going to be opposite end? Opposite end is very, very common. In the jail it's just going to be exactly opposite, so it's just going to be over here. Exit, or to the next floor. No, it doesn't show up. I don't know why that potion thing does not work, though. I'm not sure. Because I mean, obviously the minor healing potion there shouldn't show up at that point. But am I thinking about it wrong? Like, is it supposed to look... Is it supposed to look different? Like, what is the case? Like, why is it wrong? Stuff that, you know. I really want in there, actually. Do not do that. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. When it's dark ones, dark ones, dark ones. Hit with stick. Okay, so my now I'm actually starting missing stuff. 77%, okay. I want to try and avoid, of course, getting dexterity, you know, as much as possible. So I correct? No. It is exactly to the east. I mean, it could still be further east than that. Check amulet. You are maximum damage. The amulet I have is just energy, yeah. I mean, it could still be further east here, but it is still possible to go. So, it's not, it just looked weird here. Actually, if we go up here, we can actually go further east. Anyways, to the east. Strangling gas potions. And go in here. Yes. Still identify. Chest. Money. Money. Get one, huh? Is it up? Yeah. Of course. So it's kinda true that it was to the... It's almost on the other side, yeah. And I think that this will just be straight up, actually. Pretty certain. Since it's facing that way. I believe it actually has to do in the Yale with what direction it's facing usually. So if it's facing that way, then I believe it's always going to be upwards. Or to the left or something. Not 100% certain with this either. Yeah, the raids wasn't particularly hard. Just safety though. Or sometimes of course you can take a lot of damage very quickly if a lot of things hit you, you know, so you have to be careful still. I mean, this character is not fast, of course, obviously. So where you are, cold damage. I mean, it's only 1 to 2, and yeah, that has a chance, of course, to crush enemies. What are we on? Ooh, there are actually a lot of XP here. Because these are parts of champion packs. Need to just get inside here. Reuse is nice. Just let's just think one. I don't have that. There. Put a pistol down. Pistol packing, mama. Put that pistol down. So we're heading up still. Right, tainted. We need to be careful. So tainted. The interesting thing is that the tainted that you get as a warlock is completely different. These ones obviously fire lightning. Obviously, right? You know that's. Okay. Oh wait.
I can't use this yet.
Okay. We need to make sure we have 3. Can we bait in here? Okay, good. Let's actually bait here. Use door. Door strats. Aha! Oh, curse is not very good. This is actually very scary. Yeah. The fact that you get slowed as well here is.
I can't use this yet. I can't use this yet.
Okay. Doctor Uship Fire.
Can't carry anymore. I can't do that here. Not in town.
Not in town. And blue. Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Well, thank you so much. Want to spank? I mean, I'm gonna put it that way. Want to snack? So that. Much. So that's that. So this. That's more cold damage. That's the one with 2 slots. So we can eventually left it up. Only have an Ethereum though, so you know. Right. Oh, it needs to be a normal item. So we could do this. Wait, can you use Worth's leg? Yeah, that counts as a mace. So we will use this. I will hope that it will roll raised skeletons here. They will roll like a super version of this. Did you become anything good? Whoa, 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 whoa. I level 18. Summoning skills, mana, life step, Iron Maiden, Division. Okay, that's absolutely fucking insane. That's like, you know. Okay, so like you use plus to summon skills. And all of a sudden, yes, I can summon. No, still 3 skeletons at 4 points. But have they changed it then? Have they changed it? Have they done the warlock thing and like buff the skeletons and then instead just have I mean, because that would be an absolutely huge buff, and this sells for... This is quite a lot, actually. Yeah, that's just very good. And we go with a shield with this, because obviously we also have clear glass. Sadly, I do have another clear glass, but not on this, not on hardcore. So we do that, obviously. Club is probably not going to get used. However, there's a way to remove sockets. However, I feel like it's way too expensive just to waste on like just removing regular things. It needs to be something that is worth it, you know, and stuff that like, because the rune you need, I believe, is a higher level the rune and stuff that is not like a super common rune, so you know that would be like a waste to do. Oops. Right, so because that once gives you plus sensing. Then Hausarus, getting the full set I did actually get on. That was my first set that I got full of the other. It is certain that we face it. It's just insane. So this is right, because it goes per enemies, it does kind of like thorns, which is broken. Life tap. Yeah, that heals us. And the invasion is caused reducing vision radius, which means that you can actually run past them, if I understand that correctly. I don't know if that exactly works though. Yeah, confuses. Yeah. Iron Maiden is actually pretty funny. However, my understanding is that Iron Maiden is absolutely garbage. Once you reach a certain point, and like Iron Maiden does absolutely nothing. Did we repair this? Or it's just lost fully, but yeah. It's insane also that it's like 10% chance to cast Blade 5 bolt on striking. Right, and it's just, you know, hit costs monsters to flee also to it, plus the mana. So it's like it is very insane. Right now you have to be a dumb monster to be in my way.
I can't use this yet.
We need to basically kill a tainted. Wait, I should have actually...
I can't use this yet.
Actually, where's I going to do? It's one skill, triangle. Is that new? I don't know if they actually count as doing melees here. Actually, let's not mess with them, actually. Yeah, minions are a bit scary here. Activating is nice though. That's all stuff. It's healing.
Yes?
Hello.
So the other thing is, as I made, and that's the lifetime. Ooh, experience sign. Yeah, 3 is the max.
I can't use this yet.
Okay, good. Oh. No way I'm out. Yeah, maybe we used to ignore that counter for now, actually. School identify. Because what we saw is they said straight up, kinda. And the funny thing is Iron Maiden actually kills bosses and stuff that fairly well. Stuff that, like, it helps of course the more tankier you are and stuff that because of the way it works. It might still actually be up here, but black over here. Boner archers. That's right. We're calling them boner archers. Okay. So that's not correct. Okay. Do 1 maximum damage, 2 plus 2 light radius. You know what? This might be a stupid map. There are maps that sometimes are like super short. Sometimes you can get like the gold tier that is just literally just over here. I know that like Assassin is really strong right now, by the way, because of a certain build that you can do. The fact that you can like stack like charges. So that is just like insanely powerful. Which you couldn't do before at all. I think this might be where the hidden path thing is. Usually there would be a wall that you can interact with. Actually, maybe it's going to be... So that potion is nice. Maybe in here. There's something in here already. I did not. There it is. No. I don't know if it always happens though, but not. Yes. So what is going to be down then? It's going to be... Look. Super hammered steers. Tell me it's just going to be right over here. Hey, are you dying? Get over here. I forgot how you eat party members, though. There's a certain input that you do. Sapphire skulle ta en portal. Right, I see it over there. Right, this guy with something. Not what's already installed. Is that might or not? No, that's elemental damage something. Fucking elemental damage.
Greetings.
How many different kind of weapons are there?
Greetings.
Also really expensive to repair. That's worth more than 5,000 obviously. Okay. There's another one though. That's $8 as well. Right, just like that one is. Well, let me see, was there anything good I could put in it? We could use the enhancer life. Rather than giving her a reward. Because I want an F tier for Nadir. And low Oris or Sol. I mean, that gives her 155 HP, which is still very low, all things considered. No, normally I wouldn't do this, but let's just get regular ones here. And next thing is, yeah, in a closet and catacombs level 2. And then it's just 3. And then it's level 3. And then usually it's just right up here. Usually sometimes. Whatever, late in, still okay. Okay, we're just gonna be right up here. We haven't encountered the best things here though. There are like usually a dark one pack somewhere. So that was just the absolute best thing that you can get, kind of for XP. There's also chance that you meet Ratman here. And the Ratmen are kind of the same as the Flayers. They're kind of part of the same thing as Flayers. They can give you a lot of XP if they actually spawn, if they spawn as champion pack. But your weapon is life 3, okay? Okay. Let's invest. I forgot what level I was on the warlock when I finished like Act 1 and all stuff that, you know. So I needed what I needed. So 22, 23 and then 24, yeah, because it's 24. 22, 23, 24, yeah. So at 22 I take the first points into that because you need to do that to be able to reach the that, which is a bit weird, like because why can't someone resist beats their own individual thing? The barbarian can get certain things individual and stuff like that, yeah. I know that, for example, like throw barb is fun and everything, and sing barb is also like pretty fun, but I would probably do different builds. You are 35 damage, that's fine. Not the best. I mean, it's not that the XP that we are getting isn't good. The XP is still good, but you know our damage is pretty slow. So how many points do we have? We have 13 like that. Maybe we use yank up the skeletons. No, that's what she said. Yeah, skeletons. This chapter. Hate when that happens. And the good thing is though that they do have an indicator. If you have the menu open and you're actually taking damage, then it actually shows you. It might actually be worth a bit. Will you please? Yes. It might still be up. No. I did actually with that they're gonna try and rush the horror crew as quickly as possible. And I'll be right back. By the way, in part 2 I'm just gonna go on. We have a smoke first. We're gonna continue on in part 2 Rise. You know all that. Time runs out, of course.